The King and the Mango Tree. A proud king. Long ago in ancient Sri Lanka, when stone temples were still being carved into cliffs and kings ruled from golden thrones, there lived a mighty ruler named King Vijitha. King Vijitha was powerful, wise in battle, and feared by his enemies. But he had one weakness: his pride. He believed no one in his kingdom was wiser, kinder, or stronger than he was. Each day he sat on his jeweled throne and expected every villager, every monk, and even children to bow low. When his advisors tried to correct him, he scoffed. "I am king because I am greater than all others. They should be grateful for my rule." The mysterious monk. One hot afternoon, a wandering Buddhist monk arrived in the palace garden. His robe was torn, his feet were dusty, and his begging bowl was nearly empty. But his eyes shone with calm wisdom. The guards rushed to push him aside, but King Vijitha was curious. "Who are you, stranger?" he demanded. The monk bowed slightly and said, "I am no one special, Your Majesty, just a traveler. But I carry a lesson for you, if you are willing to listen." The king laughed loudly. "A lesson for me, the ruler of this land? What can a beggar like you teach a king?" The monk only smiled. "Even a mango tree can teach wisdom, if you are humble enough to see it." The mango grove. Amused, King Vijitha ordered his men to bring the monk to the royal mango grove. The trees there were heavy with golden fruit. The monk led the king beneath two trees. One tree was tall and proud, its branches high, bearing only a few fruits. The other tree was lower, its branches bending toward the ground, heavy with sweet mangoes. "Tell me, king," the monk said gently, "which tree is greater?" The king smirked. "The tall one, of course. It rises above the rest." The monk shook his head. "No, Your Majesty. The tree that bends low gives more fruit. The proud tree stands tall, but offers little. Just like people, the humble may seem lower, but they bear the sweetest gifts." The king is tested. The king frowned, troubled by the words. That night, he dreamed of the mango trees. In his dream, the tall, proud tree was struck by a storm and lost all its branches, while the low, humble tree bent with the wind and survived, still bearing fruit. The next morning, news arrived. In a distant village, a storm had destroyed homes. The king went himself to inspect the damage. When he arrived, he expected the villagers to shower him with thanks. Instead, they ran to embrace a poor farmer who had sheltered them in his humble hut through the storm. The king watched silently as the farmer bowed low, serving food and water to his neighbors without seeking any praise. The change of heart. That evening, the king returned to the monk in the mango grove. His voice was quiet now. "You were right," King Vijitha said. "I have stood tall like the proud tree, but I have not bent to serve my people, and because of that, my greatness is empty." The monk placed a hand on his shoulder. "Majesty, true greatness is not how high you stand, but how low you can bow for others. A ruler who is humble will always bear fruit for his people." A humble king. From that day forward, King Vijitha changed. He no longer demanded bows from children. Instead, he visited villages himself, listening to farmers, helping build wells, and sharing meals with monks and beggars. The people loved him more deeply than ever before, not because of his throne, but because of his humility. And when the villagers told stories of their king to their children, they didn't speak of his golden palace or his jeweled crown. They spoke of the time the king learned to bow, just like the humble mango tree that bore sweet fruit. Moral of the story: true greatness does not come from pride or power, but from humility and service to others.